Hello, my name is Jasmine Johnson. Today is April 16th, 2018, and today I will discuss the digestive system process. So I also created a few visual aids just because I think it makes the video a little bit more interesting and a little bit easier to follow. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those visual aids now. So first, the digestive system starts off with sight. And the directions it wanted us to basically explain if we were eating a big juicy burger and what we would possibly see. I'm a vegetarian, so if I seen a juicy black bean burger, I would say, oh, that looks good, and possibly could smell it if it was nice and fresh, and it would probably make my mouth start to water. So pretty much that's what happens in the digestive system. So your saliva glands start to secrete saliva just based off of the smell and sight of the food. So from there, once you take your first bite of that juicy black bean burger and it goes into your mouth, like I said, your mouth starts to go ahead and create that saliva. The saliva acts as a lubricant and it mixes the food and helps break down the food. And your teeth, you chew it. So that's like the mechanism part of the chemical breakdown of the food. And the tongue also helps mix the food around. And then it allows you to swallow the food. So that's the purpose of the mouth. Just pretty much breaking down that food and allowing it to be a bolus and go down the esophagus. So pretty much the esophagus process is very simple. The esophagus, the food goes down the esophagus and then connects to the stomach. And that is where peristalsis begins. And pretty much peristalsis is when the stomach is actually churning and mixing the food and breaking it down into smaller pieces so it can be easily digested into the small intestines. So that's where the peristalsis begins here in the stomach. So there are some other organs that also help with the digestive process, which is the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas. So with the pancreas, the pancreas is the organ that helps break down the proteins, the carbs, and the fats. The liver, it produces the bowel and it helps digest the fats. And then the gallbladder, it stores bile, and as fatty food goes through the small intestines, the gallbladder squeezes the bowel through the bowel ducts. And then from there, it goes into the small intestines. The small intestines is broken down into three parts: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. Hopefully I pronounced those correctly. And pretty much with the small intestines, the food is absorbed through the small intestines. A lot of absorption happens there, and then it ends mostly in the ileum. And then it goes into the large intestines. So the large intestines, I have it broken down here into the different areas. Just ascending colon, the transverse colon, descending colon, and then the sigmoid colon, and then the rectum is at the very bottom. So pretty much once it gets into the large intestines, the juices are absorbed there, and it moves all the way down into the ileum where the remaining absorption occurs. And then the remainder of the food is mixed with water and electrolytes and much more. And as the residual passes through the colon, nearly all of the water is absorbed. And then once the water is pretty much absorbed, there it leaves a soft formed substance which is called stool. So stool should be normally brown in color. Like I said, soft, still have some fluid in it, but not watery. So you want to make sure absorption pretty much occurred, and then it leaves the body through the rectum. And thank you so much for watching my video. Hopefully you learned a lot, and have a blessed night.